Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Shingeki no Bahamut Virgin Soul, or we call it Rage of Bahamut Virgin Soul, on episode 10. Now, this episode right here was actually pretty cool, not too bad, nothing complicated to a point where I may have to give out a lot of certain detail, but I think it's an episode that kind of grabbed my heart, and I actually wanted to tear up a bit, but some reason tears just won't come at certain points here and there. I guess it's just one of those kinds of moments kind of thing that I'm unable to do because of either pride or something else. But aside from that, let's get this episode started. We have to it that at the beginning of the episode that we get to know a little bit of Jeanne d'Arc's past. And we see to it that she was actually captain of the Orleans Knights. And of course, there were some things that people despise her for because she couldn't save one young child that gave her flowers and she got killed by a demon from under the rubble. And the higher ups are concerned about seeing how she's not really capable of doing much. Although she was pushing herself and still training every day and so forth, it seemed like to me we get to know what happened to her after 3 years of the Bahamut raged on, in the first season, if you guys know what I'm talking about. We have to it that she did lose her powers after she killed the gods. And that's something she can't be forgiven for, even with her life offered up. But she'll still continue her duty as a captain of the Orleans Knights and try to lead them to the right path. Therefore, Kaiser and the other captain, on the other hand, says that we shall follow you to whatever end. That's the promise, and she thanks him for that. Eventually, we have to it that King Sharios took the throne for himself, and he ends up making a speech where he will make a world for all of mankind to live in great prosperity, never to be feared from the demons, and has no need for help from the gods. And therefore, Jeanne d'Arc was actually uneasy about this, and she ends up talking to King Sharios about this thing where he's going to attack a certain sanctuary, and therefore she goes why are you doing this, and so forth. King Sharios says, because the gods had denied me a throne, and because I need certain power to make a betterment for mankind, this is what it will do. And there are people like you that still pray to the gods. If you join on my side and forget the gods and join with me on my path for mankind, then their faith will be destroyed. So I'm going to give you two choices. One, you either join me in my cause, or two, you could leave the castle. She decides to take the second option of leaving the castle, and that's where Kaiser became captains of the Orleans Knight. And we have to it that the life she's been leading was pretty harsh. I mean, she barely has anything to eat, and she had to physically exhaust herself farming and trying to give herself some food and trying to get some money. Not to mention where she prays to prays to the gods for help. But eventually, somehow, magically out of nowhere, a light came to her, and she was given a child, and she called Elle. And that child actually talked, and that child, Elle, boy or girl, I don't really know because I can't really tell myself. Although there has been boy and girl going back and forth in the series of Virgin Soul and so forth. Although their life have not been that great, they're actually living happily. But eventually, Jeanne ends up finding a person that's actually someone from the gods. And when she saw some golden feathers, heavenly light feathers, and we have to it that Jeanne was almost killed by a freaking Black Knight, which is King Sharios' main army. And we have to it that Elle ends up using the powers of eliminating the Black Knight's strength. So this just confirms and shows that this is actually Muguro-chan, Elle, or you could call it the Golden Child, I say. I call it the Golden Child because it shines out light and it's golden and etc. You guys know I'm getting at. Those who kept up with me in the Virgin Soul recap of my series will understand why I call it the Golden Child. But aside from that, that's when King Sharios decides to go after Jeanne and kill the child because how dangerous that child may be. And that's where Jeanne ends up going into a certain place of where the demons are at. And this is where Jeanne makes a great sacrifice. And that is pretty heavy for me because she ends up using the corpse of a dead demon's body, pours blood all over her child, and ends up cutting off the L's wings so he or she can be protected, and therefore puts her into a place where she ends up hiding her child before she gets caught. This is really heavy, and it really breaks my heart because Janne is still loyal to the gods, and King Sharios kicked her out of it, and she had a child thanks to the gods, like a blessing, I believe. I don't know how that happened in a certain way, and she ends up being killed, almost killed by the Black Knights of King Sharios because of like something else. Of course, that person that they were protecting was actually I think like how am I supposed to say it? The one that's like having Muguro-chan or L in the heavens right now. So pretty much they protected her without unknowingly when she tried to hide, and that's when she told L like at the very beginning of Shingeki no Bahamut like you and your mother saved me once, so I'm gonna be sure to reunite with you and your mother again. Okay, I want you to remember. Not to mention, seeing how like Janne poured all blood and hide Muguro-chan, or should I say L, or the Golden Child, in demon blood and cut off the wings. It was really heavy because she's protecting her child at all costs. And we have to it that after Janne told everything to Nina says, "Don't worry, we're gonna break out of here. You hear me?" And see Muguro-chan or L, and therefore Janne says she has a desire to live with L again and get out of here. But some arrogant woman says no prisoner has ever able to escape this prison. And Nina says, "Hey, you know what? We shall be the first to get out of here then, Janne." I'm thinking in my mind, oh yeah. And next episode is called Declaration of War. I'm looking forward to it because all I see is King Sharios as a main antagonist for the time being. And I'm looking forward to see more. And I need to see Azazel, freaking Kaiser, and Favreau, along with like L or the Golden Child or Muguro-chan, along with freaking Rita. They all need to get the hell out of there, and bang! I'm looking forward to see how this is gonna go. It's gonna be really exciting. I'm pretty excited for it. Declaration of War, next episode will be. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm out for Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, right? Peace out. Bye-bye. Choo-choo-choo!